Good morning. Yesterday we have seen the different types of annotations, and we have seen that one single loop, bounded, multiple and multi-values, and different types of the annotations we have seen. Standard annotations we have seen: override, depreciated, and surplus warning. And we have seen the examples as override examples we have seen, and another one is called the displaying the messages we have seen. Depreciated is nothing but the displaying the error messages, and displaying the methods also, some of the warnings for types of the constructors, methods, all these things. That's what we had discussed yesterday in JDBC connections. Today we'll see with the small example documentation, then we'll move to the JDBC connections. So documentation is nothing but here just one simple program, that's all. So here is just we are writing using the annotations, one example program. This I'll run and show you on Monday. So here we have taken author, one author name, date, they have taken 17/3/2002. Normally system will be taken first month, next day, next is year. So current version is that book versions, which versions, and last modified. So when they modified that book. Next is by John Doe. So reviewers who are all made it for that program, for that book, and class code goes here. So code how to write it is nothing but for the annotations. So 3-list extends how to write it at documented. So at interface and class permeable. We have taken the permeable class, and we need to define the data types. So here we have taken the different types of annotations. So we have learned it: single loop, double loop, multi values, all these things we have learned it. We have seen the syntaxes and examples, and here we let us see the string author. So author is called the string methods we have taken, and string date we have taken, that is called the date also string. So author also string. So int current revisions. So third one is called the integers, so revision. Default is if they're not mentioning anything, that is called the one. So string last modified, that is also we have taken the default, that is called not applicable. So we can give it or we cannot give it also. String last modified time. So some of the books once printed they may not be doing the modifications. That is the reason we have taken default not applicable. Whether if you give it, okay, if you are not giving also, it will be taken. Next is the reviewers. So string reviewers, again this will be there. That is the reason we have taken the string of the array types, because 3 people are there. That is the reason we have taken arrays. This is the way of defining annotations in JDBC programs. So at documented, at interface, class permeable. So what are all the data types you need? Author is required, date is required, and current versions. So this default, because we have taken the different data types, and we can assign the different values. That is the reason we have taken all types of the one example. So we can assign the different ways for the data types. So here is a string bit different way here, the way of defining. So previously and all what we have seen, so string author, comma. So either you array you want or not. But here we are writing the like methods, we are writing here string author. So string date. So that is what the differences between the way of defining the annotations in this case. Now at class permeable, how to write it? Now first one is called the author. So author is nothing but the John Doe. So that one within the quotes. So already we know that when we have the combinations of the characters, that is nothing but the double quotes. Next is that is the anyway string. So another one is called the date. Date also we have defined called the string. So that is nothing but the month, DD, and YYY. Next is current revision, that is equal to integer. Directly we can assign the value 6. Single quotes or double quotes is not required. Next is last modified time. Last modified is nothing but that is also string only. So within the quotes, double quotes we are writing. So next is 3 people are there last modified. One is called John Doe. Another one is called the John Doe, last modified by. So another one is called the reviewers. Reviewers, 3 people are there. One is called Alice, Bob, and Clindy. So these are all the 3 people. This is the different ways what we learn the annotations and the way of defining the variables and how to assign the values to that particular variables in JDBC at annotations. So annotations, how to write the simple programs for the different values, all the combinations we have included in this program itself. And this is the way of assigning the values and defining the values. That is what the simple program for the documentations. So now you can see here what different string integers we have taken. Again string, here is by John Doe. This is also string. Reviewers, 3 people are there. So if you have the one person, how to define it? If you have the 3 people, how to define it? So like arrays we have taken. That is the reason here arrays we have taken. Previously 1 values, not required arrays. So here is 3 different values. Locations is required. Maybe 0th location, first location, second location. So these 3, 0, 1, 2 will be taken. So that is what the 0 to n minus 1. This is the locations will be taken. Assign it and we can print the values. So this is what the small documentation, the way of defining annotations. Next one is called the target of the annotations. We have the different types, different methods. In this case, at target element type dot type. So if you want to type, that can be applied to any element of the class. So here is this one. If you are writing any type of the elements, we can take that value. So here is we have defined all these values, how to access this. So that is what we have to write the target of the annotations. Next is at target element type dot field can be applied fields or the properties. So either particular fields or but that particular properties we can take it dot field. At target element type the methods. So what type of the methods in the annotations you have used, you can be applied to a method level of the annotations. So methods for the particular variables whatever you have used here, we can take it using the methods. Entered element type dot methods can be applied to method level annotations. Next is called the target element type. This is all these things are same. First field at target element type for all the target annotations. Next is the parameters. So what are all the parameters you have passed? So that one will be taken for the targeted values. Can be applied to the parameters of the methods. So can be applied parameters of a methods. So what are the parameters you are passing? So parameters is nothing, methods you are passing some of the values. So that is called the parameters. Now at target element type constructors. So constructors can be applied to constructors. So wherever you are using the constructors, we can apply it. So constructors, class name and methods names will be the same, and you have learned the function overloading also. So constructor also. So when you are defining the constructor in Java, we have seen. So when you are defining the constructors, so we have seen function overloading, operator overloading, and constructors also. So we have learned already, the differences between the constructors. Next is called the targeted element type local variables that can be applied for the local variables. So particular methods, whatever you are using the variables, that is called the local variables. You know the difference between local variables and the global variables. So element type dot local variables is nothing but this can be applied for the targeted local variables. So when you are targeting the element type dot annotations type indicates that declare the types itself. So what type of you are defining, that one will be annotations entire type. We can see it here. So we have the different types of the annotations in this case: type, field, method, parameter, constructor, local variable, annotations type. These are all the 5 target annotations. So remember this. So type, field, method, parameter, constructor, local variable, annotations type. So this is what the targeted annotations. So how to write is nothing but at target element type dot. So at target element type dot the remainings. Remaining is nothing but the either which type you want, field, method, constructors, local variables, parameter, annotations type. This is what the targeted annotations. So we have seen one simple program and targeted how to target the destination. Now let us start the JDBC object. So how to connect the JDBC, what all the different ways we can do it, let us see in this. The first one is called the JDBC objects. So you have the JDBC object. When you are creating the objects is nothing but, so with the in that object you are calling some of the database values or retrieving the informations or inserting the values or modifying whatever it may be. So based on one object you are doing some operations, that's it. I will be calling one using that object dot method name. So in that method name what it is there, it will be doing the operations. So particularly even every J2W applications saves, retrieves and manipulates the informations stores in a database using the web services provided by the J2W component. That means what? JDBC connections, whatever you are doing the objects, you are using the methods, you are inserting the values in the database or retrieving the informations or modifying or inserting, deleting, whatever type of operations are available in the database, we can do it. So that is what the JDBC object component here. So J2W component also will be working the same way. So that's what the meaning for this. So whatever you are doing using the objects when you are calling, so it will go to the methods. Methods will be inside the methods. You are writing the some of the targeted using the JDBC connections. You can do operations like insert, delete, modify operations. So the here also will be supporting J2W also the same way. That is what the particularly every J2W applications every. So when you are inserting, automatically should save it. That one application saves, retrieves, and you can get back that informations and manipulates, modify that informations stored in the database using the web services. So we are doing using the web services in this case. That's all. So provided by the J2W component. So J2W component will be provided all these things. So web services, we know that. Now a J2W component supplies the database access using. So J2W, we have the facility to supplies the database accessing using. So here we have the options. They've provided the options for us to access the database, that is called the backend. Whatever you are storing the informations. So this always the information is also important. So previously, whatever we have learned the programming majority cases. So C++, C, also files we have used very less. So before files only we have closed our syllabus. So we didn't save anywhere the informations. Now onwards, what we have to do it? So we have to store the informations, and we have the front end also here. Front end is nothing but the decorations. So decorations is nothing but the, we have learned already servlet program, JS, Java server pages and Java beans. Which one you want, you can utilize it, and we can write the programs so to get back the information from the database. So here is nothing but what? The combinations of the whatever you have stored the informations, how you are projecting. So that's what. So I want, you have the 4 or 5 databases, informations will be there. So I want to take one database, one row or one column, and some other row, some other columns. So like that you can get the informations, and we can display the which way you want. So that is what the intention here. And now let us move to the Java data objects. So data objects, there is nothing but the contained in the JDBC applications programming interface. So this is nothing but the data object is nothing but what? Constrained in the JDBC application programming interface. So you know the API is nothing but application programming interface. Already we have learned it. And constraints is nothing but the in the JDBC connection. That is what the Java data objects. So Java data objects have the methods. Here also you have the methods that opens the connections to a database management systems. So Java data objects, what you are having, so it will, that particular methods open the connections to access the database management systems. And once it is open, then transmit the messages. So that is nothing but the queries. So first what program, what it will be doing is nothing but connection establishment is required. So once you have to write the code for the connection establishment. So where the locations database you have stored, that path, entire path are giving the connections, all these things to be done. Once it is connection established, then doing the operations queries. So queries is nothing but what? Either insert, retrieve, modify, or delete the data stored in the database. So that is what the Java data objects. Data objects is nothing but what? You have the one application program interface here, it is required. So you have to write the code for the interfaces. You have to write the code for the interfaces. Once the connection establishment, then queries will be happening. So database backend, whatever you have created the database, you have to give the connection establishment between the your program and the database. Once you have given the connection establishment, then you can write the queries. So queries like, as you know that insert, delete, modify operations. Insert, delete, modify, and retrieve the informations. So that is what the way of doing the operations. So whatever it may be the database, whatever we are talking about, only these 4, either insert, delete, modify, or and retrieve. So these 4 operations only we are doing the maximum things we can do it. So stored into the database. That is what the Java data objects. So here is JDBC objects also same thing. So J2W is providing the option for us to do some of the operations in the database that will be provided the J2W component. J2W component is giving the option connection establishment or database connections, so that once it is connection established, we can do the operations. That is what the JDBC data Java data objects. So next one is called the concepts of the JDBC. So what is their concepts? The JDBC. One of the major obstacles for the Sun Microsystems, we are using the Sun Microsystems, to overcome was the language the barrier. So Sun Microsystems, they have given the software for us. So once we install the Java Beans, so one we can overcome from the using the languages. So you know the languages like J2W languages, and using the English we are typing. So then when we are compiling high level language to mission level language, you know the compiler what it does. So all these things will be happening. So that is what the first point, that is who are all provided, that one, that's all. Now here onwards, our let us see the syllabus. Each DBMS defined its own low level way to interact within the programs to access the data stored into the database. So each DBMS, database management systems, defined its own low level way to interact. Low level interact is nothing but, so you can interact between the database. So database low level interaction is nothing but basic operations, that's all. Basic operations. So we have to do first basic operations. Then when you are writing the queries, that is different. So here is database operations is nothing but what? You have the insertion, deletion, modify, retrieve. So this is what the basic operations. Next is you have the union, join, all these things, many things. That is different stories. So each DBMS first primary is nothing but what? Each DBMS defined its own low-level way to interact with the programs to access data stored into the databases. So these were the basic things, primary things. This means low-level code written to communicate with a overall Oracle database might need to be rewritten to access the DB2 database 2. So once you want to do the DB2, so your backend is left to you. You have the MySQL, SQL. So you have the MySQL also is there, SQL also is there. Even you can go for the MS Access. So many things are there. Database wherever you want, rows and columns wherever it is available, we can store it there, and we can get back the informations. So not only DB2, so any database we can use it, and we can retrieve the data, or we can do the basic operations. So the JDBC driver developed by Sun Microsystems. So JDBC drivers, yeah. The drivers will be developed by Sun Microsystems. So was not a driver at all. So it was specifications that described the default functionality of the JDBC driver, of a JDBC driver. So here is Sun Microsystems, they developed this one, and don't bother for that. So here is the driver at all. So it was the specifications that described by the detailed functionalities of the JDBC driver. So the next one is called the specification required, a JDBC driver. So what is the specifications required is nothing but to be a translator that converted the low level proprieties DBMS message to low level messages understood by the JDBC API. So here is nothing but what? You have the JDBC APIs. So here is called the low levels, these drivers, JDBC drivers, who is developed by the Sun Microsystems. What it will be doing is nothing but it will be understanding or translated the operations these drivers will be involving, and these drivers will be supporting to do the basic operations. So that is the reason drivers we need to install it. So JDBC drivers also we need to install it. So then only we can do the basic operations. So basic operations, if you want to work, is nothing but what you have to do. So you need to install the JDBC drivers. That is what the second point. The specifications required a JDBC driver to be a translator that converted low-level priorities DBMS messages to a low-level message understood by the JDBC APIs and vice versa, either this way or that way. Java programmers could use the high-level Java data objects defined in a JDBC APIs to write a routine that interacted with the DBMS. So here is what. So Java programmers could use the high-level Java data objects. So Java data objects we are using. So Java data objects is nothing but what? Already we have learned it. This is the objects is a method to open the connections, the database to open the database connections. That is what this point also same thing. So high level Java data objects defined in the JDBC APIs. So this to write the routines of the interacted with the DBMS. So this data objects, it is allowed us to write the routines. Routine is nothing but the methods or functions, we can say simple way. So that is interacted with the DBMS. So once you write the data objects, connections will be established. We can do the operations. Just have you look this JDBC2 architectures. So have a look. You have the Java applications. Whatever we are doing the application programs, we have the JDBC connections, connection establishment, you have to give it. So DBMS is called the backend. Backend is nothing but storing the information. Any database you can take. Any database you can take it. So you have the two-tier architectures, Java applications. So when you are first what you have to do it, Java driver should be installed there at Sun Microsystems, and then only the basic operations we can be able to execute it. So you have to write the code first, the connection establishment. Once given the connection establishment, then we can do the basic operations. When you want to do the basic operations, when it will be doing, so that driver should be installed first. So that is what the two-tier architectures. DBMS is nothing but just backend. You have the, you can create the table, you can insert the values, so you can store the information. That is what. So whatever we did it till now, other than your DBMS, so just we have run the programs, just we have seen the output, that's it. We have not stored anywhere the informations. Now onwards, we will be storing the informations. For example, if you do any business, any transactions or any financial transactions, so we need to store it. Then only we can be able to do the business. Otherwise, what will happen? There is no countability only. So everything count. Whenever the money involvement, countability. So you are saying nowadays now, maximum is nothing but online business. You are saying Amazon, Flipkart, all these things. So there, what's happening? You are selecting the particular items. You are booking that particular informations. So there also you have the option. Just simple example, I'll tell you. You have the payment options is nothing but cash on delivery, or you can pay there itself. So once you pay it, the delivery boy will not be asked you the money. So otherwise, cash on delivery. So they will be mentioning there. So all these things somewhere should be saved and should be displayed. So when they are taking the destination addresses, delivery addresses, so there it should be displayed. So money collected or cash on delivery. Some of the options or some of the codes should be given to the delivery person. Then only they can be able to do it. So that is what the database informations. That means what? Whatever we are doing the operations, that we have to do it. So for example, C++, what you did it is nothing but internal marks. But we didn't store anywhere. Just we have calculated, we have learned the logic there, that's all. But here in this case, we need to store the informations. That's it. So now client mission is there. This is what the client say, whatever we are doing. So DBMS Pro Priority Protocols. So these were the DBMS Pro Priorities Protocols and database server backend. So normally when we are doing web services using the web, we are not seeing any DBMS, that is called the backside where they're storing the information, so all these things. So you might have seen some of the business applications like Flipkart or whatever it may be. So all these things, what will happen there? Just you are entering, it will be stored there, the backend, that's all. So they will be taking care, but we are not able, we are not seeing the database what they are doing, all these things. So just we are entering the data, we are believing them, and we are entering the data, that's all. So that is what the business techniques. So even card details, all these things we are entering. So that is what, when they're maintaining the privacy, when they're maintaining the secret security, then only their business will run it. So once you enter any credit card details, if they are able to, if they are not able to maintain the informations properly, then what will happen? Nobody will believe that company, nobody will do the transactions in that particular company. That is what, even they have also scare, they will be maintaining properly the informations, all these things. So anyway, that is called the security part, that anyway not required for us. So this is what the two-tier architectures. So what we are doing applications is nothing but the writing the code, all these things. You have the JDBC connection establishment. So once given the connection establishment, so that means what, somebody is required, so whatever you are saying to do the some of the operations. So because backend is somewhere, so some person, some is required, one person is there to do the operations. One person's here is nothing but, once the connection establishment, that it will be taken care to get the information from the database. So next, three-tier architecture is nothing but, you see here you have the Java application JDBC, this one. When you, it is developed for the three-tier architecture, what will happen? Java appleter, application applets, and HTML browser will be there. This is what the client side, whatever you are having, client side. Here is, you will be writing the HTTP code, remote method interfaces, Corba, or other calls. So these are all the things. So why they have given three-tier architecture is nothing but, if you are seeing the web pages, you have seen web programming also you are doing. So they are just, you are using the web pages, and some of the softwares you are using. So you are writing the program, getting this one. But here you can use it HTTP, RMI, Cobra, and other files examples. So client GUI, wherever it is supporting. Normally AP applets maximum. So and different based on your problems, you need to select which one you want. Either maybe Java Beans you want, or servlets you want, or JSP Java server pages you want, which one you want. So that you have to define, you have to identify based on your programs, that's all. So here is the middleware, you are writing the HTTP, RMI, Cobra, and or other files. So application server will be there, that is called the Java. So server mission will be there. So server in between, server will be taken care, like JDBCs, and JDBC connections will be established, and DBMS, that is called the database. So here is the DBMS Pro Priority Protocol database server. So here is, from here to here it is same. So in between Java applications, you have some of the advanced programmings. That is what the different. So you can see the difference between two-tier architecture and three-tier architectures. So two-tier architectures, you don't have any mention, just JDBC connections will be there. But three-tier architecture, you have the server separately Java, and other than that, you can use the advanced tools to write the programming. So whenever you are going for the advanced tools, so many applications are available. So you can write the code the attractive way, the images displaying, all these things. So now you can see the either Amazon or Flipkart, whatever it may be. So maybe 5 years back, 10 years back, when they were telling some people, some students, sir, this one now, online business will be. So we were thinking whether it will be working out or not. But slowly they have done it. So initially, how they have developed. So still that people, because anyway they have, once it is developed, it doesn't mean that again programmers are not required, because whenever you are using the facilities, it will be automatically increased. For example, if you take mobile, just on 15 years back, just one small piece of the mobile, so just incoming and outgoing, some before that only pager, that's all, only information will be storing. So then what will happen once it is mobile happen, next, so next features, now also mobile, everywhere the features one will be adding. So whatever you take mobile, probably 1 year or 2 years, then after 2 years that is outdated. By that time many features will be incorporated, so many apps will be incorporated. By that time that memory may not be sufficient, or processor speed will may not be sufficient for us. So all these things. So now when mobile came, only black and white, and then they have done color, then one features they have added. Nowadays internet also it is there. So internet means whatever you are doing the operations, in this case there also you are doing. So now you are seeing the online classes, all these things. So that is what programmers help is required for any companies. It doesn't mean that once it is developed then not required. So previously we were thinking everything computerized, so people may not be required, nothing like that. So everywhere, so people are required. So even banking also they were telling, so if they do computerization, manpower is not required, nothing. Manpower is required, only thing is that doing the transactions are bit fast, that's all. So people are there, people are required. So only thing is, instead of doing manual, it may take more time. Now they are doing directly using the systems, automatically informations will be stored there. So bit fast, that's all. Maybe few people manpower, maybe they can reduce it. But developing size everywhere, once if you give it updations, it is required. Amazon also use take. So once it is coming to the new items, they have to insert it. Maybe rates vary, all these things. So images they have to upload it, all these things. So again, somebody's help is required to do all these things. Manpower is required. That is what the with respect to the program. Now let us see the one by one how many ways are there the JDBC drivers, and how to, which one we have to use it, and how to use it, and how to write the code. Let us see now. So JDBC driver specifications classifies. So JDBC drivers we told to be installed. So what is that? JDBC driver specification classifies JDBC drivers into 4 groups. So here we have the drivers 4 groups. Let us see 1 2 3 4 how it will be working. What is there in the first one, what is there in the second one, what is there in the third one. So now JDBC, the first one is the JDBC driver specification classifies JDBC drivers into the 4 groups. So each group is referred to as a JDBC driver type. So the first one is called the type 1 JDBC to ODBC driver. So here is JDBC, you know that Java database connections. Here is the object database connections. So also called the JDBC or ODBC bridges is used to translate the DBMS calls between the JDBC specifications and the ODBC specifications. So here is what? So some of the bridge is required. That means what? Some way of transferring the information is required. So the path is required, connection establishment is required. That is called the, we can say the bridge. Bridge is nothing but way is required. Way, which way here? Connection establishment. Once you write the connection establishment, so that means what? Sending and receiving. Once it is connection establishment, then we can do the operations. That is what the first point. Also called the JDBC or ODBC bridges. It is used to translate DBMS calls between the JDBC specifications and ODBC specifications. Next one is called the second one is the JDBC to ODBC drivers receives the messages from J2EE component. So where we are getting the messages through JTE component, will be getting J2EE component that conforms to the JDBC specifications. So this is what the first one. So first one is nothing but what? Some bridge is required. That is nothing but the connection establishment is required with respect to the JDBC and ODBC. So JDBC, ODBC drivers receives the messages and sending the informations that who will be providing is nothing but J2EE component will be providing to send and receiving the messages. So the next one is called the those messages are translated by the JDBC to ODBC drivers into the ODBC messages format, which is then translated into the messages format understood by the DBMS. So this messages translated. So JDBC, ODBC information. So whenever you are creating the objects of the database, so we'll be getting the information from the JDBC connections. So the drivers, whatever you have installed the drivers into the ODBC messages formats, which is then translated to the messages. So whatever you have created the objects, whatever way you want to display. So there only rows and columns will be there. You can get the information from the database, or you can take the information from the database, or you can take the images from the database, whatever it may be. Once you take that front end, which way you want, you can generate the, or you can create that, or you can write the program which way you want to display, or which way customer wants to display. That is what you can do it. That is the helpful for the drivers, JDBC drivers. So once it is connection establishment, so you can take the information from the database, and that database informations you can display it in your browser which way you need. Next is important note. So avoid using the JDBC ODBC bridge in the mission critical applications, because it is extra translation must be negatively impact performance. So this I'll tell you why we have written avoiding this one, because we have to see another 3. So then we'll decide if this one. So I'll tell you the later that one. Next one is the first one is nothing but the JDBC connections you see here. So the architecture is nothing but the JDBC ODBC. You have the Java applications. You have the Java applications. You have the JDBC applications. You have the bridge driver. Bridge driver is nothing but the connection. Don't worry for that one. That is nothing but the way. That is nothing but the path. So you connection establishments, it is happening. That is called the path. That is for the bridge. So you have the DSN and drivers will be there. This is called the ODBC object oriented database connections, and the database here. This is what the architecture, or we can say JDBC drivers or JDBC ODBC bridge driver. So you can say the JDBC drivers or JDBC hyphen ODBC bridge drivers informations. This is what the way of implementing the programs. So this is what the architecture. We have to see the programs, how it will be working. So normally what you can see, you can think is nothing but front end will be there and back end will be there and server will be there. So you are requesting the informations, whatever you need, server. So server will be getting the information from the database. So front end to back end connection establishment first Java drivers will be doing. So once it is connection establishment, then all these things, transactions will be doing, and basic operations can be done in this. That is what the basic idea behind this. So second one. So shall I stop now? Second one will say, because it will take more time, this one. So because I cannot stop it in between. So we'll stop the first one itself. Right. So JDBC, how many groups they were divided? Srinidhi? Srinidhi? Ramya? Kishore? Kishore?
Sir, Ramya.
Ramya. Tell me, madam. So how many numbers are there, drivers, JDBC drivers? How many drivers types? 1,
The
2, 3, 4,
5.
N. How many, Ramya?
The 5.
5. 4. Okay. So now tell me what is the use of the JDBC drivers? Ramya only. What is the use of the JDBC drivers? Why we need to install? Why we have to install JDBC drivers?
So for connectivity.
Yes. Right. For connectivity purpose, it is required. What is the Java data objects? Sneha? Sneha?
Yes, so
Yeah, what is Java data objects? What it does? Java data object. Harshita? Abhinav? You should respond, yeah. Right or wrong doesn't matter. If it is wrong, I'll tell you no. Whatever we had discussed, that questions only we are asking, just to recall that. So if you are owning, if your connection, if you are connected and if you are not listening, there is no use. I'll tell you. Programming, try to listen. Abhinav Gupta, tell me, sir.
Sir,
What is Java data object?
sir, Java data object, sir, the transparency of the persistence services.
Guruya?
Yes, sir.
Guruya, tell me, madam. What is data?
Java data objects
Java
contain.
data objects.
Yes, sir. Java data objects contained in the JDBC application programming interface. And practically every J application saves, retrieves, and manipulates information stored in a database using web services provided.
Yes. So Java data objects, you have the methods, isn't it? You have the methods in that you are giving the connections, your establishment. Once the connection establishment, you can do the basic operation. That is where the simple way we can say. Right, correct. Next one is JDBC object. Kishore, what is JDBC object? Kishore absent. I'll mark absent. Shall I mark absent Kishore? Manisha?
Yes, sir.
What is JDBC object?
JDBC object that manages connectivity to a database, issuing queries and commands, and
Yes. So
handling
that who
results.
will be providing that? Web services who will be providing? J2W. Yeah, J2W. Right, madam. That's all today's class. I'll take the attendance. Answer your attendance. 1,
Present, sir.
2,
Present, sir.
3,
Present, sir.
4,
Yes, sir.
5, 6, 7,
Present, sir.
8,
Yes, sir.
9,
Present, sir.
10,
Present, sir.
11,
Present, sir.
12,
Present, sir.
13,
Present, sir.
14,
Present, sir.
16,
Present, sir.
17,
Present, sir.
18,
Present, sir.
19,
Present, sir.
20,
Present, sir.
21,
Present, sir.
22,
Present, sir.
23,
Present, sir.
24.
Sir, present, sir.
Hey, when I called Kishore, how many times I called you? You didn't respond, and I'll mark absent for you today. Huh?
Sir, it's hello.
Huh? You should respond, no? Either right, we are telling right answer, wrong answer, doesn't matter. But when I'm calling, you should respond. That is minimum courtesy. 25,
Yes, sir.
26,
Present, sir.
27,
Yes, sir.
28, 28, 29, 30, 3D series, 1, 2,
Present, sir.
3,
Present, sir.
4,
Present, sir.
5,
Present, sir.
6, 7,
Present, sir.
8,
Present, sir.
9,
Present, sir.
10,
Present, sir.
11, 12,
Present,
11
sir.
absent, 11 absent, 12,
Present, sir.
13,
Present, sir.
14,
Yes, sir.
16,
Present, sir.
17,
Yes, sir.
18,
Present, sir.
where I stopped? 8,
18 present, sir.
18, okay, 19, 19, 18 absent, 19, 20,
Sir, 18 present.
sorry, Spurti, 19 absent, all right, 20,
Present, sir.
21,
Present, sir.
22,
Present, sir.
23, 23, Winnie, If your mic is not working, you cannot tell the name. I don't have the name. You have to enter the register number. If your mic is not working, you have to enter the register number in the message box. Then only I can enter the attendance. If you are writing name, I cannot. Right.
Sir, BY05 present, sir.
Entered, madam. If you enter in message box, I will enter, no problem. Okay. So shall we stop today now? Afternoon 1:45 lab. Afternoon 1:45 today lab, AJP lab.